heavier than anything else he'd said. Amaya froze, her face hot with shame and fury. She knew exactly what he meant, and so did everyone listening. Kaylin gasped. "That's not fair," she blurted. "You don't even know her." Reeves turned his gaze on her, his grin spreading wider. "And you do?" he said. "What, did you two sit around swapping war stories? Please. I've been in uniform longer than you two have been alive. I think I know what's real and what's made up." Kaylin shrank back, but Amaya stood her ground, though her hands trembled. "You'll see. She's coming." The officer smirked. "Sure she is. Maybe she'll parachute right through the skylight, huh?" He chuckled, shaking his head as if the joke were too good to resist. "Don't worry, kid, you'll learn. The world's tough. Better to face the truth now than keep living in make-believe." Shoppers whispered, some shaking their heads, others quietly pulling out phones, recording the scene. Amaya noticed a woman pretending to flip through yoga pants, her phone angled just slightly toward them. A teenage boy near the checkout nudged his friend, pointing. The humiliation weighed on her like a heavy backpack. For the first time, Amaya wished she hadn't said anything at all. Maybe she should have kept quiet, kept her mom's life private, the way Nicole often asked her to. But the thought of Reeves smirking, of everyone believing his version instead of hers, made her chest burn. She wiped her eyes quickly with the back of her hand and stood taller. "You'll see," she repeated, firmer this time. The officer leaned back against the rack of hoodies, folding his arms like he'd just wrapped up a case. "We'll see, huh?" he said with a smirk. "All right then. I'll wait." The silence after his words was louder than the music playing over the store's speakers. Every second stretched, the crowd restless but curious. Some waited to see if Amaya would break, if she'd shrink away in shame. She didn't. But while Amaya stood there, fighting not to cry, her mother was already walking past the food court, her boots striking the tile floor with every step, about to turn the corner and change everything. Amaya's heart pounded so loudly she was sure everyone could hear it. She stayed planted in front of the shelves of sneakers, but her insides were screaming for her to run. She wanted to disappear, wanted to rewind the moment she'd opened her mouth. If she had just said, "My mom's busy," none of this would have happened. Now strangers stared at her like she was the star of a show she never agreed to be in. Officer Colton Reeves stood like he was enjoying a slow afternoon comedy. He rocked back on his heels, arms crossed, his smirk glued in place. "You're awfully quiet now," he said. "Starting to realize you might have stretched the truth a little?" The words stabbed. Amaya kept her eyes down, but his voice dragged her back up every time. She could almost hear the whispers circling. "Why is he going after her like that?"